Hey, friend, welcome to the very first episode of Wounds into Witness. I'm your host, SamaKaze, a faith based recovery coach, follower of Jesus, and someone who's lived through some really dark chapters. And now, by God's grace, I get to walk with others as they heal, grow, and rediscover what it means to be whole. This podcast is something I've been dreaming about for a long time, not because I have all the answers, but because I know what it's like to need hope and to not know where to find it. I know what it's like to sit in the silence and wonder if God is still listening, or if he ever was. Maybe you do too. So if you're tuning in today, I just want to say thank you. You being here matters. And my prayer is that this podcast becomes a safe and sacred space where you feel seen, supported, and stirred to keep going. So what is Wounds into Witness really about? It's about the stories behind the scars, the pain behind the praise, the real journeys of real people who've seen some stuff and lived to tell about it. Each week, we'll dive into one of the following. 1. Raw reflections on healing and hope from a faith-based recovery lens. 2. Devotional style teachings that connect scripture to the pain we carry. 3. Personal testimony, mine and sometimes from others. 4. Interviews with believers and creators who've turned their own wounds into a witness for Jesus. And 5. Spiritual side quests, small practices, questions, and challenges to take you into your week. The themes will range from grief, anger, addiction, forgiveness, shame, self-worth, relapse, rebuilding, prayer, and the places where faith and struggle overlap. If you've ever felt like your story was too messy for church, guess what? You're in the right place, because this podcast is just for you. Why did I choose the name Wounds into Witness? Because I believe that's exactly what Jesus does with our pain. The risen Christ still had scars. They weren't erased after his resurrection. They became proof of what he'd overcome. And I think our scars can be that too. Not something to hide, but something that points to the healing that God has given us. When we allow God to meet us in our wounds, he doesn't just patch us up and move on. He transforms us. And the very things we thought disqualified us, they become the platform from which we speak hope into other people's lives. That's what this show is about. So let me leave you with a small but powerful reflection, something to carry into your week. Psalm 77 verses 1 and 2 say, I cry aloud to God, and he will hear me. In the day of my trouble, I seek the Lord. In the night, my hand is stretched out without wearying. My soul refuses to be comforted. You know what that tells me? God isn't afraid of your honesty. The psalmist isn't putting on a holy face. He's crying, complaining, struggling to believe, and yet God hears him. I used to think I had to get myself together before I could pray. I thought I had to be polite and put together, but real healing didn't start until I got honest, until I stopped hiding behind spiritual cliches and just said, God, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I don't understand. And you know what? He met me there, not with condemnation, but with compassion. So maybe this week, the most spiritual thing you can do is pray an angry prayer. Maybe your breakthrough begins not with a song of praise, but with a cry of pain. Because witness doesn't start with the victory. It starts with showing up. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode spoke to you, I hope you'll stick around, subscribe, share it with someone who needs it, and come back next time as we dive into our first full episode. Until then, remember this. Your story isn't over. Your wounds are not wasted. And the God who sees you in the dark is the same one who'll walk with you into the light. This is Wounds into Witness, and I'm honored to walk this road with you.